There are many, many, many groups, and these groups have taken youthful offenders into adulthood life, and they have the same type of things. The television stations, they air these type things last night. In my preparation, I couldn't sleep in my preparation looking at a show that shows this gang type activity. If we remove that activity and go back into the home and create some spiritual, moralistic citizenship, that will be the hope for our future generation.
And that is not a charge, Reverend, that you're giving to the young people. That's a charge in a real sense that you're giving to the older people. Would that be correct in saying that?
Exactly
Because
right. That's exactly
which is to say that we are still our worst enemies unless we can deal with these children.
That's right. That's right. They have shown the military and the conditions that they're in, that this type of negative behavior is even to show up in that particular realm. And they have their ways of dealing with such things to keep the men focused there. But that's how dangerous it's beginning to get. That's how dangerous it's beginning to get. That there have to be someone teaching, as I said, in my realm of work, and even in my vocational work, that you have to learn to listen to some form of authority figure. And you have to learn to listen to someone that is of the wisdom, and that is someone getting in their years. I'm kind of hitting on my gray, my beard a little bit now, to teach you and tell you about some of the things that you haven't even seen yet. Their lives are cutting short. I've been in that realm also, of saying rights before burials and words of comfort to the family.
A lot of young people that ought to still be here, but they are no longer here simply because something that was inconsequential at the time that it happened. But
that's exactly right. Started out just a little fun, and it turned into something that became a nightmare for them. Things that they would like to undo. I've seen them go through many, many changes in their mind and in their little hearts, trying to remove that sting of whatever happened that they wish they could erase it, but you can't change that. So now here are the consequences of you away from your family. You've got someone telling you when to get up and go eat, when to go to bed, when to watch television even, when to play, etc. But that is a form of structure that the government and our citizenship and the state and the federal government have to provide. And we have to be very adamant about their rights also. If you're going to teach school, teach school. You ought to be mature enough to have an affair with someone of your own peers, and all of these different things begin to surface, shootings in school and so forth. You have to have a safe environment. That is the primary goal, to have a safe environment to nurture and teach and guide young people.
Well, no, we're ending, nearing the end of this show for today, Reverend Murphy, but I simply want to thank you for bringing that perspective. I think it's something that we often talk about, but in terms of the way that you've laid it out this morning, I think that we all can see that it is a real possibility of being able to change this thing around. But we can't change it around unless we can influence these young people. And the best way to influence these young people is to have some relationship with them. And the best way to do that is with, I'm sure that you would agree with it, L-O-V-E. That is, and I think that that's essentially what you were talking about during the conversation. That is that when you talk about dealing with them and et cetera, no matter what it is, however the activity might be, if it's based upon L-O-V-E, you see, that for God so loved the world, and if you so love them, and et cetera, and they can determine, they can see that. And once they see that you have that kind of love for them, then they'll go the distance for you. I know I've dealt with a large number of them myself. As a matter of fact, I might also say, Reverend, that I was probably one of those that was sort of mentored out of those kinds of situations. And except many of us were, and many of us have been. And so we simply want to thank you for bringing by that excellent information for us this morning. And of course, let me also encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good night.